Why did you choose to become a teacher?
Funny. For two reasons. One, I had a crush on my literature teacher. And then after that, I majored in literature, and then I had a lot of really good teachers who were inspiring. And I knew after graduating from college that that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to continue their legacy because they're really good teachers. Aside from being really good at their craft, kasi they were into literary theory and creative writing. Aside from being really good at their discipline, they were also really good at inspiring people to follow them. And one time I asked my teacher when I was in college because if you're in the teaching profession, there's not much money involved. And then my teacher said, Sir Lopez, Sir Ferdy, he told us that we just needed to follow our passion, and then the money would come later.
Okay, number 2. How do you inspire and motivate your students in your lessons?
It's easy for my subjects because my subjects are literature and humanities, and it's something different for the kids here in the kids here in AMB. They have business subjects, they have accounting, really serious subjects, and I use that difference in my subjects in order to give them something different, not just something that's involved with their world of numbers. So that's what I give it as, something that's different, something that would give them space to breathe and maybe make them feel a little bit more human than just becoming calculators in the future.
Number 3. What do you do to prepare for a certain lesson or class?
Well, first of all, I read my material, and then I try to arrange it in such a way na it's easier for, I arrange it in such a way that the kids can conclude stuff on their own. Like for example, for literature, I find a thesis or something that I need to prove using all the elements of the short story or even just poetry, and then I start with the thesis, and then the discussion will build up on that. For humanities, I try to find a connection between, let's say, art or the culture that I'm talking about, connection between that and the lives of my own students or even their own culture, just to get them interested.
Okay, last. When you meet an obstacle or problem in class, how do you resolve it?
In class, if it's going well, I can't ignore like say cheating or not following the rules in classrooms, like cell phones in class, or doing work for some other class in my time. I try to address it immediately. But if it's going to embarrass the student too much, I have to talk with the student outside the classroom. But if it's not too embarrassing, I usually just deal with it on the spot, and then afterwards just move on with the lesson. I try not to prolong the agony by just talking to the class as a whole and reminding them of their responsibilities and stuff. Try to treat them as adults who know how to think for themselves, and if they did something wrong, I would just remind them of it and then just move on quickly. There you go.
So, sir, why did you choose to become a teacher?
In English lang.
Sige, okay lang po.
At first, actually, I was hesitant to become a teacher. But since when I started, when I graduated, after a few months of looking for a job, a teaching job came across me. So I tried applying for it. So the school has a good reputation, so I decided to teach. Tapos, at first, I set my mind na 1 year lang. But since I enjoyed it, na-extend na siya for many years.
Number 2, how do you inspire and motivate your students in your lessons?
I need, parang, I make sure that I know what they want so that I can relate with them. Tapos, siguro, I try to know them more so that I will know how I can better teach them.
Third question. What do you do to prepare for a certain lesson or class?
Siyempre, kailangan nire-research ko rin yung topic. So, nire-review ko rin. So, for example, kahit naturo ko na siya in the past, I still have to review it before ko ulit siya ituro. And, siyempre, even if yung topic mauulit in the next school year or mauulit-ulit siya, I still have to make sure that there's something new in that topic. So, talagang you prepare for every lesson. So, kailangan, alam mo rin yung context ng students. Dapat alam mo kung anong alam na nila, ano pa hindi nila alam.
Okay, last question. When you meet an obstacle or problem in class, how do you resolve it?
Ano obstacle?
Obstacle or problem?
Like, magulang estudyante.
Or any problem or any obstacle?
Ay, yun naman, ano na eh, parang magandang dapat kasi sa simula pa ng school year or semester, naset mo na kung ano yung rules mo para alam na ng students kung ano yung dapat hindi nila ginagawa. Okay, so that when an obstacle comes, okay, so hindi na rin magugulat yung bata how you're going to address it. Kasi, I mean, you have already set the expectations at the beginning of the semester. Okay, so, basically, pag mayroong obstacle na nangyari, so syempre, kung may ginawa yung student, I have to talk to the student first. So, I don't reprimand naman right away. Syempre, I need to know why or what happened or kaya kung bakit ginawa ng student yun.
Our first question, why did you choose to be a teacher?
I do believe that the teaching profession is the noblest profession among the all profession because with this kind of profession, I may be able to share what I have learned from the different trainings, programs that I have undergone. I might share it to all my learners, particularly the college students, in developing their competency as future professional. So, I do believe that this kind of profession will somehow give me an apostolate among my learners, and until I reach my retirement age, I will also be a teacher in simplest ways.
For our next question, how do you inspire your students in your lesson?
Basically, I do provide a lot of motivating activities, strategies that boost their interest, like providing interactive games, providing valuable learnings wherein they will impart themselves during the activities, more on experiential learning activities, and also analysis on the different situations, plus the physical activities that might allow them to group within the classroom, as well as give them an alternative ways to empower them to speak rather than listening during the lecture. But most of the time, before I begin, I see to it, I prepared motivational teaching, learning activities through games, worthwhile indoor reflective activities, and situational analysis.
For the next question, what do you do to prepare for a certain class or lesson?
Particularly right now, I am preparing my lesson by means of multimedia technology through the use of the audiovisual aids presentation like PowerPoint presentation, video clips, brochure, film viewing, and then I do provide activities, okay, that might help them not only on the lecture method, but even motivational learning strategies that all the group members or the students in the classroom will participate actively, okay, by means of allowing them to speak out. There will be dramatization, there will be role-playing, there will be panel discussion, debate argumentation, or even situational analysis scenario, and also feedbacking and summarizing of what we have done throughout the day within our lessons target. Okay?
So for our last question, when you meet an obstacle or problem in a class, how do you resolve it?
Basically, I learned how to use competency skills through classroom management. And from that aspect, we are able to be equipped enough through a proper awareness of the rules, policies, and guidelines. Okay? However, if there will be circumstances might arise in the different cases, behavioral cases, or even individual or by group unavoidable circumstances, I might approach them through the use of psychological perspective, through individual interview, case analysis, processing, and then follow-up. That might help my students in resolving a particular conflict. So therefore, there should be a clear, concise classroom management ground rules plus the do's and don'ts in any problem and conflicts within the classroom. As a guidance counselor, as a teacher, as a professor, I see to it that I'm the one who will listen, mediate, and act as a counselor in the different conflicts that will be resolved in the classroom.
And that would be all, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.